All right, today is Saturday, November 22nd, 2025. I'm here in my hometown for Thanksgiving, and I just got done hanging out with my dad, so I'm driving back to my mom's house right now. And today was just an overall very quality day, and I think that the importance of planning the day before is really big. Every time I have the exact playbook that I'm going to run for the day, that playbook tends to get ran. And every day that it's super vague in the planning the night before does not tend to go super well. So one of the things that I've been very happy with in terms of like not negotiating things is the first 4 hours of the day that I've been doing in the morning of just like working on the constraint. And it's been 5 a.m. every single morning, and some days we're lower on sleep this week, other days we're better. It's 8:21 right now. Filming this multitasking on the way home so that we can get to bed a bit sooner, so we can maybe get to 8 hours, hopefully definitely get 7.5, which I think is a threshold. But those first 4 hours of the day are very, very important, because when no one is there to message you or ask for things, or you're not like really obligated to be online and answering right away, you can get a lot done. Plus, I find that my brain also hasn't been like tainted by tasks and requests throughout the day. So I'm not really thinking about anything else. I'm only thinking about what needs to happen. So if I plan the night before what needs to happen and what we're solving for in the morning, much more probability of getting that done at a high level the next day and actually going in and executing that. So that being said, the big thing has been the calendar. Right now I'm building 3 versions of my calendar in terms of templates. So like it encompasses everything that'll need to get done throughout the week. And it really optimizes the week. It doesn't really leave much room for error on one of the schedules. Basically, I have a locked-in schedule, whereas like I'm in Phoenix. I'm basically at the office that is my apartment, and I am like there's really nothing else to do but work. I have the family schedule, so like when I'm in town with my family, like especially for Thanksgiving week and Christmas, that's gonna be big. And then I have I'm with a client type of schedule, and that one right there is going to be a tough one, because it's basically just manage the business at a minimum viable CEO level so it doesn't burn down. A mistake that I continue to make and that I'm consciously working on fixing is being very there and then not there at all. So like instead of just being consistent, I am very involved, and then when I'm like out with a client for 2 days, I'm like not really there at all, and then things start to go wrong. So that's something I'm consciously working on as a CEO, and also stepping out of like the practitioner role where I'm doing everything myself and becoming more of that like director, founder, and like building the machine as opposed to just doing a bunch of the work myself. So that's like the next step as a founder, and I feel like that it really matters what you do in the first 4 hours of the day to build that system. So it was good in terms of that sense. I'm very excited for the 3 different calendars. That way I generally know what the week needs to look like, and I can color it in on Sunday. So basically I have a bunch of blocks on my calendar right now for like delivery block, script writing block, sales block, and I can kind of edit the hours I'm estimating for that week in particular based off the template that I built, depending on what like phase of life I'm in, whether it's with family, at client, or locked in. And then Sunday color the weekend, and then it's just execute the week. Like this week will be different because like Thanksgiving's on Thursday. So that's what I'm working on first 4 hours. And then today was a lot of like shot calling, if you will. So sending a lot of briefs to team members for the beginning of next week so that everyone knew what they needed to do. I find like with anything, it's like garbage in, garbage out. So if I send a shitty brief, I get a shitty result. If I send a good brief, I get a good result. So in that case, it's not necessarily on the team, it's on me to submit a good brief. So I did a bunch of those, reviewed a bunch of videos, went for a fire run today. I'm noticing, and I will leave with this takeaway right here, is if you train in harsher conditions, and this doesn't just apply to running, if you train in harsher conditions, then you'll have an easier time when you need to perform, even if the conditions are harsh or aren't as harsh. Example, I train hills in the heat at higher altitude in Arizona. That's where I live, and that's where I train. And then I come back here to Syracuse, and it's near sea level, cooler throughout the day, and much lower altitude. So I'm able to just basically, like, my paces on average are like a minute less than they are when I'm in Arizona. And there's some races that are coming up here in Syracuse that I'll be participating in. So that being said, if you're going through hard times right now, literally just consider it the training period of your life and be thankful that you're being trained in a location that is difficult. That way you can get better. So it was a really good run today. 2.5 miles easy. And the easy, dude, I literally was feeling easy. And it was at about a 7:20, 7:30 pace for the first 2.5 miles. And then it was next 2.5 miles were effort pace, which I got at 6:22, 6:19, and 5:58 for the first mile, second mile, and last half mile. And then it was 2.5 miles easy at the end, which the first mile at the end of that was like 9 minutes. And then the other ones were, I think it was like 7 something, because I just was gliding with the new shoes, better altitude, better weather, and no hills. So that being said, I am going to go in, say hi to my mom, and get ready for bed because we just completed all of our tasks for the day. Saturday night at 8:27. This is the kind of stuff where I think it's like confidence is built. So it's not just the actual like full 7.5, 8 hours of sleep I'll get on a Saturday night while still waking up at 5 a.m. on a Sunday to get after it. It's the confidence that I'm building within myself of knowing I'm putting the work in that's necessary in order to get the results that I want to get. So I think that's like the most important thing. So I'm gonna be able to have time. Like I was hanging out with my dad today from today's like it's 8:27 right now. I got to my dad's at like 3:45, 4 o'clock. So hang out with my dad for 4.5 hours. Normally I can't do that, but since I'm up early in the morning and getting after it, keeping the promises to myself, we tend to have a better outcome. So I'm gonna go say hi to my mom and upload this, and then I will be going to bed, and I will see you tomorrow.